Okay, now we're going to go into a little bit of prone work, some single arm and single leg extensions with our face clots. So this one again, we're going to be on the wrists. Protect those wrists, make sure we fire up the forearms, push the fingers down to allow those forearms to work so we don't put too much pressure on the wrists. So if you can't do all 10, or if you were doing it for time, rather half the time protect the wrists, then try to push through it and you get wrist pain. So we don't want you to get wrist pain, and always come down, do a few wrist circles just to warm up those wrists, and make sure you include some wrist stretches in your warm-up routine and also in your cool-down routine, just to make sure that they don't get stiff and sore. So the exercises look like this. You can obviously, of course, do your cat stretches if you want, just to warm up into it, and so you get your pelvic position nice and ready into a nice neutral position. And once the tummy is ready, obviously you would have had a lot of the tummy work, would be nice and warm already from the previous exercise, so you should also just be able to go straight into it. For this one, the mat sits a little bit odd because we're going to go single, opposite arm, opposite leg. You'll notice that my hand is actually off the mat as I ended up in almost a funny position here. I'm going to move a little bit back. So get something for the opposite wrist as well to put down like a cushion or a towel folded a few times just under this arm. I don't mind my hand on the floor. If you don't mind either, that's fine too. If you can take the strain of it, then that's fine. I've left the mat down for my leg, as this knee is going to take a lot of the weight. So the single arm, single leg extension, again, we just keep those toes nice and light on the cloth, keep the opposite hand nice and light on the cloth, and we're just going to extend away as far as we can and bring it back. On each extension, just make sure that you have a little pause there. You'll feel the tummy has to really work to keep the toes light but intact, in contact, and then gently bring it back. So you'll feel the exercise as you have to try to control that move, sliding the cloth, also not having too much weight on that side, keeping the hips nice and dead still. So then after about 10 of those, we're going to extend out nice and straight, and then we're going to go into a little angel circle. So it's out to the side and back. So nice and controlled, out to the side and back. So you'll notice you have to have some contact with this poor cloth and back. So a few of those little angel circles out the side. Give us 10, and as you go out the side, remember you can also have a little pause there. And then bring it back nice and slowly. We want to make sure we're feeling the muscle. It's all about control today. Control the move rather than the posture, rather than trying to rush through the exercises. After that, we're going to step it up a notch. We're going to do exactly the same exercise, but this time we're going into full push-up line. So if you don't want to go into full push-up line, you can do it on your knees. Just move the knees a little bit back, or just redo the same circuit we just did on in that 4-point kneeling position. But for those who really want to step it up, we're into push-up line. 1 foot on the cloth, 1 foot on the other cloth, bring that knee in, and all we're going to do is extend and bring it back. Extend and bring it back. You'll notice that this poor arm, the grounded arm, really has to work hard. So if you want to do 10, do 2 sets of 5 maybe instead, because this shoulder is going to take a lot of pressure. But again, don't rush the 10. Rather do 2 slow 5 sets than 1 very quick 10 set routine. And of course, if you want to step it up, feel free to do it twice. And after that, then we'll do exactly the same thing with the little circles, 4 half circles. Let's extend away, circle out, and back. Nice and slowly. Fingertips and toes on the cloth, nice and light, but still in contact, so that we're able to move them around. Again, all about control. Try to prevent the hips from rolling and the shoulders from dipping. And always remember, protect those wrists. The last one I think on the list I put was evil push-ups. I think I called them, which are evil. So feel free, again, it's a nice arm work. You can just do the normal push-ups, or feel free also to do them on your knees. So when we're doing push-ups on our knees, don't have the knees under the hips, but rather we want those knees somewhat back so that we can have a little bit of body weight onto the actual hands and arms we're working, and remember to always dig those fingers in. So we're going to have one hand on the cloth, and come a bit more towards the edge of my mat. As I go down on this arm, I'm going to try to stretch this arm out a little bit and bring it back up. So although there's some weight on the arm that's on the cloth, the opposite arm is doing most of the work. So I'll do that one again for you. So hand out a little bit past the shoulder, so the hands line with the shoulder, and then the fingertips digging in and sort of in line. This hand's going to go out a little bit, so as you go down, this hand stretches, push up, and pull this arm back. So good work for actual both arms. This one, the goal is to keep it nice and straight, and this one's the one bending, and remember we are doing that on both sides. Then we're up. If you're doing it straight armed, it will look something like this. So it's out to the side and back up. Those are incredibly evil, but incredibly good for you. So again, 10 is the goal, 2 sets of 5, fantastic, 3 sets of 3s, brilliant. Will get us close enough to 10, and if you want to really step it up, double the number. Again, we're going to then come back to the first side. Again, if you're on our knees, this time we're going to take the cloth forward. So stretch forward and back, and that's more for the tricep. So as this one goes forward, drop down, bring it back. If we're up into push-up line, forward and back. Those are incredibly difficult. Again, 5s, 10s, 10 being the goal. However many you can do is also fine. And try to do them for time. Step up a little bit. Change up a little bit. And see what you can handle. So that's the arm work. Have fun. Let us know how those go.